I'm sure you will have seen, I don't believe you've commented on it yet, but the current Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, came out quite, I mean, I'll use my words, you don't have to agree with them, but quite viciously against you. I actually have the clip here, and I wanted to just play it so that I get the wording right. We'll put it up for our audience. I'm sure you've seen it already.
Yeah.
But just
is nothing else but a political Casanova. And he is spewing vagrant political views and views that are embraced by a few malcontents who are opposed to the ANC. He will be charged. I've informed him through an SMS. I called him. We will charge him. We'll bring him before the disciplinary processes of the ANC.
I'll leave it there. It carries on for a bit. How do you respond? How do you respond to that?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was a shock to me to hear him speaking like that. Because you see, Mbalula, I consider him a friend. It might sound strange, but he is a friend of mine.
Sure.
I consider him as a brother. I consider him as a comrade. We come a long way. But he has done that before. It's not the first time that he has called me names in public. But I've never done it myself in response or at any other time. Because I don't think that's the way to deal with each other, no matter the differences between us. I think, and I've said that to him. I've met him several times, and I said to him,
right,
Max, we may differ politically about all sorts of things, including about Cyril. We can differ, it's fine. But I think we must retain our comradeship and our friendship and our brotherhood, despite all these political differences. Because you cannot lead an organization as big as the ANC through slander, through vitriol, through insults, name calling. Yes, you should be firm in terms of asserting discipline, but it must be done with respect. I'm not Mbalula's age group. I'm far, far older than Mbalula. And I respect him for his leadership in the ANC as SG. That's why, even if he was not a leader, I would not name call him in public. That's not what I think is the correct thing to do. And I think partly it's because we are not cut from the same cloth. Mbalula comes from a different generation than my generation. My generation is a generation from 1976. And we joined Mkhonto Wesizwe, the People's Army. We call it the Glorious People's Army of Mkhonto Wesizwe. And I'm a proud member of MK.
The original one.
Yeah, the original one. I'm a proud member of the original Mkhonto Wesizwe. Before we were deployed in any capacity, we had to be trained to specialize in that capacity. You know, not unlike today. You become a member of the ANC, and then tomorrow you are an MP, you are a councillor, well, you are whatever. That time before you're deployed anywhere, you had to get the necessary and requisite skills to do that job. So the way we conduct ourselves politically and organizationally is different from what is happening today. Actually, it's not even the ANC only that behaves in that way. You can see it generally speaking. I mean, in all political parties, especially on social media.
Yeah, sure.
People are conducting their business and conducting politics through vitriol and slander and insults, which is, an expression of the collapse of the values of the National Liberation Movement. As I say, it's an issue that affects all parties. And if you want to extend it further, you can find it all over the world. Talking about Mbalula is a very gifted person in many respects. But I think the ANC and its leadership have to guide him and to do his job with more humility and respect. Otherwise, he may end up adding to the demise or the decline of the ANC in the country.